Okay, this is How to Play Walk This Way by Aerosmith Part 2. So, this is gonna be the first solo after this part. Okay, this is gonna be the first solo after that. On the, I'll put it over here so you can see it better. Okay, on the 11th fret of the high E string, bend that up a half step. Okay, got that. That's easy, pretty much. Put it up a bit. Okay, yeah, it's still easy. Okay, 8th fret, high E, 8th fret. Hammer onto the 11th fret. Pull off to the 8th fret. Okay, so you're gonna. Okay, 11th fret of the B, 8th fret of the high E. Then you're gonna take the 11th fret of the B and you're gonna bend it. You're gonna bend it a whole step up, then release it. Okay. Then you do 8th fret of the high E, then the 11th fret of the B, then you pull off to the 8th fret. Then you play the 11th fret of the G, then you pull off to the 10th fret, then you pull off to the 8th fret, then you play the 10th fret of the G, then the 10th fret of the D, then the 10th fret of the G. Then you take the 10th fret of the G and you put that up a full bend. Okay, like a full a whole step. Then you play the 8th fret of the G, then the 10th fret of the D. So, okay. Then you play the 10th fret of the B. You bring that up a whole, or not a whole, a half step. You release it. You play the 8th fret of the B, then the 10th fret of the G, then the 8th fret of the B. Then you play the 11th fret of the G, then you pull off to the 10th, you pull off to the 8th. Then you play the 10th fret of the G, pull off to the 8th. Then you play the 10th fret of the G again, and you pull off to the 8th again. Then you play the 11th fret of the G, then you pull off to the 10th fret, then you pull off to the 8th fret. Then you play the 10th fret of the G, then you pull off to the 8th fret. So you should have. Okay. Then you play the 11th fret of the B. Then you bend that up a whole step. Then you release it. Then you play the 12th fret of the D. Or you can play the 7th fret of the G, whatever you like better. And then you slide down from there and you go into this riff, which is in part 1. Really. Okay, so you should have this. Okay, 1 second. Okay, I have like 6 minutes left, so I guess I'll teach you the second solo. I'll just get the sheet of paper. Oh, okay. Put that there. So we can just. Okay, the second solo is. I'm not going to play full speed. You play the 10th fret of the D twice. Then you go to the 9th fret of the G, pull off to the 8th fret. Okay. Then you play the 10th fret of the B. Okay. Then you play the 8th fret of the G, slide down to the 7th fret, then slide down to the 5th fret. Then you play the 7th fret of the G, pull off to the 5th, then the 7th fret of the G again, pull off to the 5th, then you play the 7th fret of the G, then you play the 7th fret of the G again, and then with this time you bend it up a half step, release it, and pull off to the 5th fret. Okay. Then you play the 7th fret of the D, slide up to the 8th fret, then you play the 8th fret of the B, then the 5th fret of the B and G strings, then the 8th fret of the D, then the 5th fret of the B string, then the 5th fret of the D, then the 7th fret of the D, then you play the 7th fret of the D again, except this time you half bend it up, then you release it. Then you play the 3rd fret of the A twice, then you play the 7th fret of the D, and then you slide up to the 8th fret, you play the 5th fret of the G, then you play the 8th fret of the G, pull off to the 5th fret, and then you play the 8th fret of the D. Then you play the 8th fret of the G, pull off to the 5th fret, then you play the 8th fret of the D. Okay? And then you play, well, hang on, I'm just gonna do this. Then you play the 5th fret of the G, then the 8th fret of the G, then you play the 8th fret of the B, pull off to the 5th fret, then you play the 8th fret of the G, then the 5th fret of the B. Okay, so it's then you pull off to the, and then you play the 8th fret of the G, pull off to the 7th fret, then pull off to the 5th fret. Then you play the 7th fret of the G, then you play that again, except this time you bend it up a half step, then you release it, then you pull off to the 5th fret, then you bend it up a half step again, then you just play the 5th fret of the G, then you play the 8th fret of the high E, then you play the open A. So it's you go into this. 1 second. Okay, well that's all the time we have. I am going to peace out now. So thanks for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe. If I did something wrong in this video, please let me know, and I'll try to make another video and make it better. Okay. Thanks for watching again, and keep requesting songs, and see you later. Peace out.